Madam Clerk, I'm calling to order this new emergency meeting, and just would note for the record that the date is March 18th, 2020. We are at the Nueces County Courthouse, the third floor, and the time is 11:26 a.m. I certify that all commissioners are present and that, in fact, we do have a quorum. The meeting does call for the Pledge of Allegiance to the United States and Texas flag, and since we are so much united these days, I know we've already done it once, but, well, it doesn't hurt to pray multiple times, nor to say the Pledge of Allegiance multiple times. So I'll ask that you stand, and Commissioner, if you'd lead us in the pledge once again. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. Thank you for that. Is there any public comment at this time, Edward? I'll ask for any in the audience. What I'm going to do is ask, as I discuss some of the items that are on regular agenda items. Number one, I've asked several electeds to be here with me to help me discuss the new courthouse that I'm about to describe to you. So if those members that I've asked to speak up, I'll just do so. If I'll just give me the opportunity to give everybody a chance to understand where we're headed. So, Commissioners, the regular agenda item number one is our only one to consider, and it is a comprehensive agenda item this morning. It is to discuss and consider the order on the extension of the declaration due to public health emergency. I would like to go over with you some of the items that I'd like to cover comprehensively, and then I would like to recognize that Mayor Joe McComb is here joining with me, and I welcome him. And at some point, I'm going to ask the mayor to join me as well. But first, let's actually go through the meeting, adjourn that meeting, and then we'll have an opportunity for the press to hear from both the mayor and myself and ask questions at that appropriate time. In the meantime, I welcome that you're covering this emergency meeting. So the purpose is for me to provide an update to our citizens and to our courthouse employees and to our commissioners. Yesterday, the Board of Judges met for many hours. I'm a member of that board, and it's very clear to me that due to current circumstances, that this courthouse will have to change the way it does business. And so it is with a heavy heart that I tell you that we need to be limited in our courthouse activities with regards to how many people are accessing the courthouse and how we interact with one another. But the good news is that we can still keep this courthouse open and we can still do business. We just need to pivot, and we need to practice what we preach with regards to social distancing, and especially the 10. My mouth is dry, don't worry. The rule of 10 when we're getting into small gatherings. And so I would like to visit with you by asking the different electeds to share with you a little bit about their office, because they interface with the public so much. And to begin, I'd like to have Kevin Kieschnick talk about the new limited role to the public of the tax office, with awesome opportunities to interface with the tax office, just like, you could any other day, but maybe ways that you haven't thought of before. Kevin, tell us how the tax office will function as of tomorrow.
Yes, as of tomorrow, we are going to be closed to public face-to-face transactions. And what that means is we just won't be dealing face-to-face with people in front of our windows. And in lieu of that, what we are setting up are some drop boxes. We have the drop box, which has always been in place through property tax. We are having a drop box put in motor vehicles so people can continue to drop off their title transactions. We are going to have some front cover sheets available up front in that area so they can call us. We will have people manning the phones to answer questions on the typical questions you get, what do I need to do? What do I need to sign? What documentation do I need? We will have all of our people still here, but they'll be answering the phones and processing these transactions back office. Mail delivery is always an option as well as online. Online has been quite underutilized. We have free e-checks, which we've been trying to get people to use for years and years. We've had it for 6 years. E-checks is basically like writing a check, but it's done electronically, and you can do it through our county payment portal. And there's no fee for using e-checks. Now, the merchant does charge for debit and credit card transactions. It's the same fee as you'd pay if you came up to the front counter, and it's the exact same fee. It's the same merchant, and that fee goes to the merchant, not to the county. We don't touch those funds. We never see it. It's direct. It's just the direct cost of running the credit and debit card machines. So you've got online. You've got mail, and we'll have the drop boxes still available. And then, of course, our phone lines will be open and available for people to call in and ask questions, and we'll be interfacing that way. I do need to remind the public to not put cash in the mail. Don't put it in the drop boxes either. They will need to get a money order or issue a check. If they're going to pay a debit or credit card, just do those transactions online.
I just want to repeat that. Online is a fantastic way to pay your taxes. You can still call your tax office, or you can mail in your payment, but please, no cash, money order or check only.
That's correct.
Thank you, Kevin. This is going to be great. It's going to keep everybody safe, but we're going to keep on rolling as far as business goes. And for the press, I've dubbed this Project Remote Control because we are in control. This is something we all want in our lives, and this virus has made us feel a little out of sorts, and so we are going to work in a way that might incorporate, technology, or in this case, online, but we are just a moment away by telephone. So if you have a question, you can still call the tax office.
We'll still be here. Our entire staff will be here. We will probably consolidate some of the remote locations. The Bishop office is probably going to go into the Robstown office because I have nowhere to put a drop box there. And of course, Bishop will reopen once we go back to normal operating hours. The same thing with Port Aransas. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to do that, but since we're only talking drop box payments, they can send that in the mail or work online. I also want to remind the public that the governor put a moratorium on enforcement of registration. So if you're worried about that and you don't want to go online or that sort of bit, they are not enforcing registration violations at this time. There was a TXDMV put out a big memo on that. We will have that information out and hopefully get that on our website as well. Those are all the things we're working on this afternoon to try to get that information out so people are aware.
Mr. Kisnick, you said checks and money orders, but no credit cards. I mean,
No cash.
no credit cards?
Credit cards online, and credit cards can be done online.
Okay, because you mentioned credit cards, so.
Just
credit cards
online.
Just online transaction. Because if you're going to do it online, there's no sense in. You don't want your credit card numbers floating around in the mail. That's a real bad practice. So if you're going to do it, just go online and take care of it that way. One thing I will note is it's txdmv.gov is where you can renew your auto tags online, and that's actually done by a third-party vendor for the state of Texas, and those get mailed out. So if you print a copy of your receipt, that's proof of registration also for 30 days. That's not new. That's a bill that I helped author back in 2017. So you can renew online and have proof of payment while you're waiting for your sticker and not get a ticket.
Thank you. And I just want to remind everybody that all of the information that you're going to hear today, commissioners, we're consolidating this information. We are sharing it jointly with the city, and we are going to publish it so that everybody has knowledge of it on our website And also, we'll create a comprehensive package for all of you so that if you do good messaging, like I know you all do, you can continue to reinforce this. You know, you all have private platforms, or you can reinforce it in your newsletters, however you see fit. But we believe this is in the best interest of public health. Thank you, Kevin.
Just want to reiterate one more
Sure.
thing. On the title transfers, people who are buying and
Yes.
selling vehicles from individual to individual, you can still do those. They will just need to be dropped off at either the Robstown location or here at the courthouse. And we will have a drop box in the motor vehicle department, and we have a drop box already set up in Robstown. So that's how those will get done. They can contact us and we can help walk them through. It's just me, and we'll have signage up directing people appropriately.
Your leadership is really appreciated, and I want to say that this is a part of our continuity of operation plan, so we're just effectuating that which we already stand ready to do. We've been able to be flexible and pliable because this is a situation we've never encountered before, and you've done great, and we're going to get the message out, so we thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
And now I'm going to pivot to the county clerk and ask if she would take the podium away from her desk, or you could do it there, but okay, would you want me to, I can go to another one? Would you like a little time? So you can finish? Absolutely. So this is what's happening. Information changes rapidly, and so let's let her finish reading that, and I'll mention a few other important county changes, and that is our county libraries, our law library, our Bishop Library, and our Keach Robstown Library are going to be closed to the public, but I will tell you that I'm very excited to announce that we're already mobilizing our drive-through library opportunities. And very soon, we're going to be able to have drive-through, not just for families to pick up books for their children, but to even have arts and crafts with instructions. So we're going to try to assemble a way that we can give a week's worth of opportunities for families and children in our rural communities. All they have to do is drive by, pop their trunk, we put in the books. They can request the books by calling the libraries. We are open for business. We're just doing it in a different way. And I'm excited to say that I believe was already happening as of yesterday. And we thank Ida Garza. For all the lawyers listening who are concerned about the law library, I think we're going to open once a week and then by appointment only. So if you need to access something, we are here for you. But we are definitely going on a limited courthouse basis. In addition, and while Kara's preparing, I'm going to pivot to Carolyn, Commissioner Vaughn. We are very concerned in our community about animals, and there's been a lot of questions about our animal care services. And would you update us on that? Because I don't want anyone to worry.
I visited with Juan yesterday, who is the director at Animal Control, and for some reason when there are emergencies such as hurricanes and now the coronavirus, people tend to want to take their animals into animal control. We're asking you, please don't do that. Please take care of your animals. We have 17 in there right now. I think we can hold quite a few more, but not a whole lot. But the problem is it's hard to get them adopted out when things like this are going on. So we would just ask you, please don't. We do not want to be euthanizing any dogs, cats, or anything. So please take care of your animals. Right now we are not doing that and have no intention of doing it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And now the county clerk would like to advise you of also some new remote, I don't want to say, it's not really remote, it's just limited, opportunities to be interfacing with the public for the protection of her employees and also for the public as well, but still being able to service you.
Absolutely, thank you. So what we've done in my office is today we have closed the records room, and the records room is where all the books are and the public computers. But you can get all that information that you get from the public computer in the records room, and all of those records are online for free now. And we've made those available when I got into office in 2015. So we are going to be posting all of this on the website to go to, so you can print any of those documents for free, so you don't have to go in there. Also, what we are doing starting at noon with collections, We are not going to do any more payment plans with the defendants. We've notified the JPs, we've notified the courts that no more face-to-face with the collections department. We can do payment plans over the phone. Also, we're encouraging defendants, we'll still be calling them, and defendants can pay online as well. So that's another way that we are, but we're keeping them, same with Kevin, we are keeping all of our employees, keeping them working. They'll be calling defendants and processing and payment plans. Filings department, we will have drop boxes as well as forms, but we will not be doing any face-to-face with our filings department. If you need to record any of your land records, your deeds of trust, your liens, releases, mail it to us. Or if someone comes in, we'll also have the drop box there with the forms, they can leave it. We will have all the information online. If you need certified copy of your marriage license, we have all of those forms. We've been working all morning with IT. They've been great, so thanks to Lance and Connie to get all of those forms online for the customers. They get on there, they print them off, mail them in. We will still have our filing employees here to process those. So we'll get those turned around. If you need a copy of your birth certificate, that's a big deal. You have to mail in and request that as well. But again, everyone's will be working, and we will be processing these daily, getting them back out to the customers.
Can you go online to request those as well?
No, what you do is you'll go online and you'll print the form.
Print the form.
And you're
Okay.
going to mail it in. So we'll have the mailing address and everything you need to do to get us your forms.
So to get a marriage license, how much time do you need?
Oh, we're not issuing marriage licenses. We are closing down to the public.
Even by mail?
No, you have to be in person. What we're trying to do is
Nobody can get
prevent.
married at all, period?
Do what?
Nobody can get married at all? I'm saying, if I don't.
Well, I think a lot of the weddings have been canceled, and a lot of the.
I mean,
so-
but somebody wants to get married,
Right.
say next week, right?
Right.
For whatever reason, because sometimes there are good reasons that you need to get married, or military, or whatever. So how do they get the marriage license?
Well, I guess we can leave a window open. Our concern is that it won't be only for marriage licenses, that we'll have more people coming in and trying to do all the other business. So if we don't close down, at least for a week, or the recommendation, we won't be able to prevent this. Because remember, we have people coming in all the time.
Right.
Coming up to ask us all kinds of questions.
So how about if we work together? That one is going to be more problematic, I think. I'm sure, I'm sure you're not unaware of that. So why don't we do this? Why don't we work with our Public Works? I think he had to leave, but,
Get signs up.
well, we can get signs up, but we can also build you a window very quickly, that would be a protection for both sides, both the public and your staff.
Get the plexiglass up.
Right, I think that could be done, because I don't think we can stop, people are getting married. They're just not getting married, with big groups, and they may be getting married and then saving their reception for later, right?
So if you can do that, and we can get that up to be able to protect the public as well as our staff, then we can do that, and that would be fantastic.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right. Yeah, we want to make sure that we're sort of being consistent, that the courthouse is available, you're just using it in a different way.
Right, so, yeah, if y'all do that, fantastic.
And of course, I'm going to encourage drop boxes as well, right? Anything that you can drop box, like for example, I might consider having a big drop box instead of mailing it, because our mail doesn't just come directly. It goes to San Antonio, then it comes to you. So maybe we could create a mail box that's just our own internal mailbox. We could set that up that would allow for you to not have a stamp on it.
If they put a plexiglass up, protection across the entire counter, then we could,
Well, I'm going to work on that for you.
all the filing, yeah.
Yeah, well, then we'll work on that. I know, as they say, the magic of television, someone is listening to me here in this building in Public Works. And yes, I think that we were already discussing that for another arena. And so I think that that's really important that you have the same opportunity.
The counters, you're not that far, that social distancing.
But the
you don't-
JPs have the same thing.
Exactly, that's exactly what we need. If we do that, then we're a little more
We'll get
confident
you that,
in
no problem.
preventing any
Okay.
copying, and
Right,
Yeah.
right.
so we can.
Okay, well, thank you. Thank you. And then are you getting any guidance on elections? Because we're getting a lot of questions about elections.
Right now, as far as the primary, we're still a go. And just so y'all know, we've been sanitizing and and cleaning all of the equipment, but we're still a go for that. Waiting for the Secretary of State's office with some guidance there. The governor put out to where local for the May uniform election, which would be Port A was having an election, and it's up to them if they want to join in November, so have an election in November. So he's leaving that up to the local officials. We don't have a May election. We were not going to administer one, so it doesn't affect us. But for those smaller entities that were planning on having a May election, the governor has given you the opportunity to.
There's runoff in May, right?
Right, there's two separate issues I'm talking
Right,
about.
I know,
Right.
Uniform and then. But
Yes, there was two. Yeah, so there were two elections. But the primary, again, we're still waiting on guidance. But just moving forward with that, as if it's gonna.
Is there a possibility they could open up, mail-in for everybody that wants to do mail-in?
That's been recommended, and that actually was sent to the Secretary of State's office. Anyone that wants to, could, perhaps request a mail-in ballot.
Yes, we're waiting for direction.
Yeah, just waiting for that, so, we'll see.
We're waiting. I just want the public to know that, we are definitely taking good steps that are proactive to keep everybody very healthy inside the courthouse, whether you work here, whether you're a visitor, whether you're seeking, some guidance here from our different offices.
I do need to know, though, if, Judge, about the plexiglass, and if that is a possibility, because I do not, we need to know pretty soon.
Right. No, I mean, we had discussed that, so I think that after this meeting, we'll work with Public Works and Logistics, and we'll go start taking some measurements this afternoon. We want to make sure, my hope and my wish for this courthouse is that it remain open for the public, because we need to keep the business of the county rolling and going. It's important for our economy, it's important for our daily life, but we have to do it in a responsible and smart way. And so I think that the way you guys have taken action is great. And you know what? We're going to wind up finding efficiencies and better ways of doing things as we start. So what you do today, if you see that, hey, it works better if we have a big drop box up front for the county clerk, we will keep trying innovative ways to make it work for the public. That's our duty. So, anyway,
Kara,
thank you.
Excuse me, Judge.
Sure.
Governor Abbott just issued a proclamation allowing for the postponement of the May 2nd.
Right, but that is not the runoff, I was
Yeah.
referring to that, but
Yeah,
not
he did just
the
issue
runoff.
it.
But that's not the runoff. That is just the May 2nd uniform election date for Port A, like I was
But
referring to.
that's good.
Yeah.
That's the way.
Okay.
Mike-
All right,
Mike-
that's
Michael-
information.
Michael, taking notes, Michael, right on the window?
He's giving us thumbs up
Across the
already.
entire, yeah.
Okay, so let me pivot to, as they say, the things that we need to do as a court. And then but first let me finish with the last major update. And there are many. Every office has important ways that they can implement their continuity of operation. But yesterday, the Board of Judges met, and I see the district clerk's office has just joined us. And so I would like to say that I've been waiting for the order. I think they're meeting as we speak to finalize that order. But because I was there yesterday and because I asked them for permission to at least tell you this and tell the public this, commissioners, that all civil trials, jury trials, have been canceled until May 25th, including family trials. There are exceptions, and you need to wait for the order to see those exceptions. In addition, and the big exception is County Court at Law Number 5, okay? They're going to have their own rules. We also, yesterday, at the Board of Judges, expanded magistrates' powers. And again, for all of the details on that, I'm going to defer you to the judges will issue this proclamation very soon. There will also be a suspension of criminal trials, non-confined defendants, for 8 weeks, May 25th. There will also be a suspension of criminal jury trials for confined defendants of 4 weeks. These are the most critical pieces of information from yesterday's Board of Judges meeting. And as I said, there are a lot of exceptions, and you need to wait for the order so that you can see the details. There will be motions heard. There will be hearings. There will be a business being conducted with our district courts and with our county court at law. But life as we know it in the tower is going to be different. But we are going to adapt because that's exactly what we need to do, and we can. And to do that, I have ordered that we have technology brought in called Court Call to make sure that video conferencing is available for all courts. And this is some piece of technology that's been very helpful as judges communicate with the jail and vice versa with parties affected. And in addition, it can be helpful to have open access for people who are seeking justice here. So I'm excited to say that we are going to use the latest and greatest technology to have our motions and hearings heard. And there are going to be rules about which hearings will be qualifying for essential hearings and which ones will qualify for non-essential hearings. So what is an example of an essential hearing? For example, habeas corpus, temporary restraining orders, temporary injunctions, but there might be others. So again, I'm giving you the highlights so that you all can get a feel, commissioners, of what is happening in current and real time. In order to adjust to all of this, there's two things that we need to address as a court. The very first is to understand that we need to limit non-essential travel in our county employees, with our county employees. And so I have signed a policy that I ask all of you commissioners to sign by ratifying by motion that this policy provides guidance for non-essential travel during this disease outbreak. And it goes on to say that there will be no travel for non-essential travel for county-related business that is not essential to the operation of the county. It discusses the procedure and provides for the authority. And the county official in this pursuit is myself, the county judge. And so at this time, I would ask that you, by motion, adopt this.
It's on the regular agenda, so we'll address it at that point.
Okay, so you just want to discuss it now?
Well, yeah, basically, everything arises out of the extension of the declaration.
Right.
We'll do that first, and then,
Okay, so you want them to just to know about the travel policy. Okay, well, it seems like we should take it after the declaration in this emergency meeting, though. Okay, but
we put it on the agenda because we had enough time.
I see,
That's why.
I see. Okay, that's fine.
Otherwise, you're right, it would have been here.
That's fine. Okay, so you should know that I think is my wish for this court to adopt. In addition, I have instructed all department heads to allow any member of their team who can work remotely to do so. It is time to implement the continuity of operation plan for the safety of all of our employees. And so if you are a department head, the instructions that I've given to you are that starting tomorrow, we will work remotely where possible. Again, let me stress, this courthouse is open for business, just in a very different way. I will be here every day, and if you need to visit with us, we're going to be here to answer your questions, to help you with resources, to help you figure out how these new rules and operations work, whether it's with the justice system, whether it's with the tax office or the clerks. We're here to help you, and we will get through this together. So with that, it is my wish to extend the disaster declaration due to public health emergency by Commissioner's Court order. And I would say that I can read it. It is in front of you. But it is an extension of the order that I signed just less than a week ago, whereas on March 13th, the county judge issued a proclamation declaring a state of disaster for Nueces County resulting from a novel coronavirus known as the COVID-19, which continues to be an imminent threat of widespread illness, whereas the conditions necessitating declaration of a state of disaster continue to exist, and whereas 418.108B of the Texas Government Code provides that a local state of disaster may not be continued for a period of excess of 7 days without the consent of the governing body of the political subdivision. That's us. Now therefore be it ordered by the Commissioners Court of Nueces County, number one, that the state of disaster proclaimed for Nueces County by the county judge on March 13th, 2020, shall continue until terminated by order of the Commissioner's Court. Number 2, this Commissioner's Court order is passed as an emergency measure and pursuant to Section 418.108A through D of the Texas Government Code, and all applicable local or interjurisdictional emergency management plans shall become effective on this 18th day of March if we approve it. I have already signed, and I ask for
A vote.
a motion at this time to extend this disaster declaration.
I just wanna ask a
Yes.
question. Can we vote for this now? Can we still come back and add something? Because I think that what's real confusing out there right now is the amount of people, the crowd.
So that's going to be next. And actually, the mayor is here with me to discuss that next. This comes first, and then any order regarding the mass gatherings can and shall be authorized by us once we extend this disaster declaration. You're absolutely right. It's next on the agenda.
Judge, I think it's important to note too, so that everybody understands that the mayor and the judge have the authority as the emergency operations lead in our county to do this, because everything that comes down as fast as this is moving, there's no possible way that you could ask for a vote and we can meet every time. And so I appreciate that you and the mayor, and I know mayors of other cities are doing the same thing, are working very hard to keep the safety of this community at first and foremost, and I know you are, and I know the mayor, McComb, is as well, and I appreciate that, but I want everybody to understand that, because we all probably get calls, hey, you need to do this, you need to do this, and I keep saying, look, this is really and not that you haven't asked for consultation, and I know you do, and I'm not, again, I don't want to say the wrong thing, but that there's a reason that the system is the way it is, because in emergency times like we're in, some people perceive these emergencies different than others. There is a time and a place, and the fact that you and Mayor McComb are, I know, working daily together is very reassuring to me, and I appreciate your efforts, but I think it's important for the community to understand the process, that really, at the end of the day, and you ask for opinions, and I know the mayor does too, but at the end of the day, it's your call, and it's his call, and it's Mayor Buhan's call, and it's Mayor Aguadulce's call to do what they think is in the best of their city and county, and I personally appreciate all the hard work you've
Thank
done,
you.
and all the hard work that Mayor McComb and everybody else has
At the
done.
end of the day, you probably would have final call if something can't be agreed on.
That's correct.
So, that's something that we need to keep in mind also, so.
That's correct. So at this time, Commissioners, I'd entertain a motion to extend this disaster declaration. And a second, please.
Second.
And all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, I will make sure through the court administrator and manager Tyner Little that we will get this signed, filed with the clerk, and provide a copy. We are living in unprecedented times. I never thought that I would declare a disaster of this nature, but I will tell you that we are prepared to handle it. And I just noted that the man in black was on my left, and Todd Hunter is here, State Representative, Chairman Todd Hunter, and he's here because it's not just the mayor and Barbara Canales as the county judge. I know my partners at the state are right there with us, and it gives me a lot of confidence to let you know that I have been in contact with lots of our Western County mayors, and as a matter of fact, I brought it for the press as well. The mayor of Robstown has been hard at work, as well as the mayor of Port Aransas and other jurisdictions, to try to mimic what we're doing so that we can all stand for the continuity of the idea and the premise that we enter this disaster together, and guess what? We will recover together. So that is why it's important to do it simultaneously. So with that, County Attorney, I have done the disaster, the extension, and can I do the policy now, or do you want me to wait till the regular agenda? Okay, so I'm going to put that back. I've talked about the personnel. I've talked about some of the office changes. The district clerk, I just want to give you the opportunity before I actually ask the mayor to join me and gavel us out to discuss what the next piece is. Do you have anything to add to what we have already discussed about what I'm calling limited courthouse and Project Remote Control? Those that can work from home, we're still going to be in control, but we're going to work remotely.
So Judge, the Nueces County District Clerk's Office is still open for business. This afternoon, we will be closing our counters. However, we will be answering our phones, and we want to let the public know that if there are any emergency orders that need to be filed, that they e-file them. If you are a pro se litigant and you absolutely need to file an emergency order, we request that you call 888-0450 so that we can set up a time to take in your documents. Also, we are asking the public to please not come to the counters, to please make all payments in money order, cashier's check, or a regular check. Please do not send cash to pay any of your fees. We'd appreciate it if they would just mail that in. Also, for the criminal section, we ask all of the defense attorneys to please e-file. If there is a pre-file case that needs to be filed as an emergency, we ask that you please call our criminal section at 888-0495 so that we can set up a time to take in your documents. We also ask that anybody who, anything that needs to be picked up for service for family or civil cases, that they please call 888-0450 so that service can be picked up. We can set up a time with them to pick up service. Everything is business as usual. We are here to serve the county, and we just request that instead of coming over the counter, to please call our offices.
So we want you to call. And again, we're going to message. You've got a lot of information today, commissioners, and for the public watching, a lot of information. We are going to get that information in a concise way, and we are going to message it in the way that you like to receive it. We're going to make certain that it's on our website, and I am actively working on a social social media platform. This county does not have a Nueces County Facebook, but we do have a Nueces County Emergency Management page. I'm looking to fuse those. We've got to continue our modernization of the county, and by doing this, we'll be able to give people the information in a way that they're used to receiving it. And so I pledge to you that all of the information you've heard today, that we will make certain that it's available to you, and even if it makes no sense, you just need to pick up that phone and call us. We are here to answer these questions. We know that it is a change, and change is always difficult. But I know that we are resilient people and that we can adapt. And again, I want to reiterate that we are open for business. So with that, commissioners, I'm going to, let's see, I want to make sure I don't have to do anything else. Looks like we're done. There is no executive session item. And at this time, I can gavel us out and adjourn this particular meeting, and I would like to ask for just a small break as I ask the mayor to join me with the press. I believe we are going to make an announcement, and then we will come right back in to finish those two items. We have auditors, we have Public Works, HR, we did Public Works. We have HR, auditors, and executive session, and then we will be done for the day.
Did we do the COVID?
Well, I'm sorry, and the COVID on regular agenda. Sorry, one more thing. So we have a few more things on our regular agenda. At this time, it's 12:04. I'm asking for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Okay, motion to adjourn, 12:04. We're out of our emergency meeting, and I will be down to join in shortly and ask Mayor McComb to stand with me as we answer questions and make an announcement.
Do we vote for the travel thing? I think so.